hewed the trees down. I'm not saying that people shouldn't reduce their ecological footprint, or that cities are more unsustainable than suburbs, Derrick argued. I'm saying we need to be honest with ourselves and recognize that you can't have an electrical system without a mining infrastructure, because you need copper or other metals for wiring. Just as a modern city would be impossible without an electrical grid, so is electricity unthinkable without metals being mined to create it. You can't take individual technologies out of context, Derrick said, because every system, every object, relies upon humans extracting resources from the earth. To make his point, he took off his glasses and held them up as an example. They're made of plastic, which requires oil and transportation infrastructures, and metal, which requires mining, oil, and transportation infrastructures, he explained. They've also got lenses made of glass, and modern glass-making requires energy and transportation infrastructures. The mines from which to get the materials to make my reading glasses are going to have to be located somewhere, and the energy with which to manufacture them also has to come from somewhere. We need to stop being guided by the general story that we can have it all, Derrick concluded. That we can have an industrial culture and also have wild nature. That we can have an oil economy and still have polar bears. The bright green responded with his movement's most common argument and statement of faith, that every system we are currently using that is unsustainable was designed by humans and is therefore capable of being redesigned. It is entirely possible, the bright green argued, to create a zero-impact, closed-looped, carbon-neutral method of generating prosperity that most people would accept as reasonable. But what, asked Derrick, is an example of a system that could be redesigned to be sustainable? You mentioned mining, replied the bright green. It is, in fact, possible to recapture minerals and metals, to design things for disassembly, so that minerals are easily pulled from objects as they cease to be of use, and to turn those elements into parts for new things. We know that it is at least theoretically possible to have an absolutely zero-waste economy, and we know that it is practically possible right now to have a very close to zero-waste economy. Sounds great, right? The only problem, and this is the case with all the bright green arguments, is that this idea doesn't correspond to physical reality. As we prove in this book, the process of recycling materials itself requires an infrastructure that is harmful to both the environment and humanity. Not only does the recycling process very often cause more waste and pollution, but it frequently relies upon nearby populations living in unsafe conditions and workers being subjected to both toxins and slave labor. But bright green environmentalism has gained so much attention over the past 20 years that it has effectively colonized mainstream environmentalism. That's because bright green proponents tell a lot of people what they want to hear, which is that you can have it all, industrial civilization and a planet too. Or, put another way, you don't have to change your lifestyle at all. You can have a planet and consume it too. But we can't have it all. And if we want our planet to survive, we do have to change our lifestyle, radically. Bright green environmentalism and other forms of denial about our situation do great harm by wasting time we don't have on solutions to sustainability that cannot work. This book is an introduction to some of the lies common among the bright greens. We reveal many of these lies, analyze why and how they are false, and make clear the tricks the bright greens are pulling, possibly on themselves as well as the rest of us, to perpetuate these lies. Our hope is that once we've revealed these lies, our listeners can use what they've learned to debunk other bright green claims. We're not saying innovation is never helpful, nor are we saying we shouldn't recycle or that some forms of production aren't more or less unsustainable than others, or that cities can't be made less unsustainable. We're simply saying that we shouldn't lie to ourselves or to each other. Especially with the world at stake, we should tell the truth. We're saying that these bright green solutions are lies that allow us to maintain an unsustainable way of living while pretending that we are not killing the planet.